Okay, here we have the newly converted vegetable oil powered diesel Benz, which is now running a dual system. And in fact, I've run about probably over 2,000 miles at this point on the vegetable oil. Okay, here we see that I've gone 1,086 miles on our trip odometer since my last diesel fill. We've used maybe half a tank of diesel over here, and so the remainder has all been run on vegetable oil. Here is our flip switch that changes from the diesel mode with the thin red line to vegetable oil mode with the large red square. We start the car up in diesel, and when the engine warms up, that warms up the vegetable oil lines, which are tied right on top of the extended coolant lines from the radiator system. And then when the vegetable oil lines are warm, we switch over and run the engine on the vegetable oil. Okay, here we are at the rear end of the car, and opening up the trunk here, we can see I've retained most of the trunk space. The additional tank for the vegetable oil is down here in the spare tire well. And we're able to get a look at it here. And this gives us access, and here's the spare tank. You can look at it, the whole view here, under there. Here we have lines, the vegetable oil line coming out. You've got the two coolant lines, one's a send and one's a return. And then the vegetable oil line runs right on top of the coolant lines to heat it up as it goes back to the engine. Now over here we can see just put in a new sender unit to send the fuel level in the tank up to the instrument panel. And then here's my innovation here, which is a clear plexiglass window so I can peer in, usually using a flashlight. However, even now I can see that we're just down right about empty. This green tube here is the fill from the side, and actually Mercedes has a very nice setup here with enough room in the filler compartment for a second fill hose and cap. And here, just in case I run out, I've got a spare 6-gallon gas can filled with filtered vegetable oil down to 1 micron, and then a 1-gallon easy pour vegetable oil container here, also filtered down to 1 micron of used waste vegetable oil from the back of our Thai restaurant. Here we have a funnel, but actually for the big fill I'm going to use the larger funnel that has the water separator screen in it, and we'll get to that shortly. So, time to fill up with vegetable oil. Here you can see our new green cap on the vegetable oil fill right next to the standard diesel fill. We'll start with this quick easy fill vegetable oil container that this was waste vegetable oil from the back of the Thai restaurant that I filtered down to 1 micron. And now my trusty assistant, Felicia, will bring over the funnel. This has a little screen in it that acts as a water separator. Now this oil is a little darker than the recent oil that I've been getting, so this probably has a blend of the Thai oil and some of the oil from the Chinese restaurant, which was quite a bit darker and required a little more straining. And there we have it, 1 gallon of vegetable oil in, and nary a drop on the ground. All right, here comes the big stuff. Ready? That's a nice flow. Okay with the strainer? Holding the funnel okay? Got it. You can smell a faint hint of Fuji dumpling. There we have it. 6 gallons from our large utility jug and 1 gallon from the small vegetable oil container. And cap back on. Okay, we're all filled up and ready to turn her on. Now we're actually not running on vegetable oil yet, we're still running on diesel. We're going to allow the engine to heat up just a little bit so that the oil will flow through the engine properly. Now here you can see our clear vegetable oil lines going into the 6-port valve, which switches us over from diesel to vegetable oil. We can see this diesel filter chugging away here. It shows us that we're on, we actually are drawing diesel to the lift pump. Now when I switch it over to vegetable oil, you'll see these lines start to pulse. Down here is our heated filter. You can catch a little bit of red down there, and that is the vegetable oil filter that's being heated by the coolant lines before it goes into the engine. Okay, now at this point we're going to go for the big switch and switch from diesel over to vegetable oil, and you'll see the big square light up when we're running on vegetable oil. Ready and go. Wee-haw! Running on veggie. Actually, not quite true. We're at this point running on a blend because there's some overflow from the injectors that comes back into the system. Here we can see that golden flow coming in from the filter through the vegetable line. This is into the 6-port valve, and this is the return, actually, of the overflow coming back to the system. We're not sending it all the way back to the tank. The excess diesel, I believe, we do send back to the tank, but the vegetable oil we just circulate around when it doesn't go into the engine. Now another one of my innovations here are these coolant line shutoffs here and down in here. These valves will shut off the coolant going to the back of the car in case we have a leak back there or there's some area that we need to work on, so that we can still run the engine normally without the extension of the coolant lines. Okay, let's shut the hood and we'll take it for a test drive. Running on vegetable oil. All right, I'm going to pull the car back into the parking spot. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the show.